love story.
So let us start with the questions. I will not say the name, of course, but this question is one of the questions that I would ask. And that's the first one, of course. How did you meet Pastor Joshua or Mrs. Ligia? Go ahead.
Do you want to start?
You can start.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, I was already in the work of God.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved from one branch to a branch. And that is where everything started.
That was back in Brazil, right?
Yes, back in Brazil.
Okay, good. But before we enter in that part, Pastor Joshua, how was your life, especially your love life before? If you had one, how was it before?
I had a good example from my parents, especially from my father. I didn't know love. I got to know promiscuity.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I distorted one conversation I had with my father, and he told me this, my son. I was young, around my 15.
Mm-hmm.
He said, look, when you start to go around with girls, first respect them. Because one day you may have a daughter, and they are daughters, and treat them well, but make the most of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when you find a wife, that is
Forever.
That is the one.
Yeah.
There is no more going around. And then I grew up with that, okay? Once I can make the most until I find the one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I didn't know love.
Mm-hmm.
I know what was pleasure going out, and I did not build any relationship. It was a mess. That was me.
Yeah. And what about you, Mrs. Ligia?
Pastor, I came from a destroyed family.
Mm-hmm.
Was totally different than him, and my love life was destroyed. I came to God. I was 16 in that time.
Pretty young.
But I was very, lack of affection. I was very sad in this area of my life. I would never imagine that I could marry someone, a man of God. It's like, by what I saw in my family, I didn't have that expectation at all. It was very, very sad.
And when both of you start in your faith, of course, it was in different times, in different places. But when did you start in your faith? When you had your contact with the Spirit of love, the author of love, your love life, it was a priority. As soon as you start in your faith, you say, okay, let me fix this mess in my love life. Or did you have another understanding, or did you receive another understanding, start to working out in different things, and then your love life?
When I started in the church,
Yeah.
got to know faith first, then I said, I thought that, okay, it's fine to now I'm going to do it in the right way.
Yeah.
But I didn't know God. Then I started a relationship even with a person inside the church.
Really?
Yes. And then...
By this time, you were not yet baptized in water?
No, I was already baptized in water,
Okay.
but I was not born from God.
Oh, okay.
Then was a very dangerous
Yes.
combination.
Yes.
And then what happened was, both of us had the desire to do the work of God, to become assistants, even though both of us were not born from God. And then let's say, okay, pretty little couple, Christian couple. But then things start go wrong. Our relationship start to damage our spiritual life.
So that's the dangers of those who start a relationship without prioritizing, knowing first the author of love, the Spirit of love. Because without you receiving the Spirit of love, how can you be guided? How can the Spirit of love, lead you, making good decisions, right decisions for you to avoid problems in the future?
I seen myself back then, Pastor. It's a constant fight against our flesh. Constant. It's not about only being sinful, even though the sin was the end of it.
Yeah.
But it was that trick idea. No, but both of us want God. And one day we stop, or one day we change. No, God knows that our intention is to serve Him. He will give us strength. But when you don't have Spirit, how do you overcome over flesh?
And this is something that many people, they are using it against themselves, to deceive themselves. they're trying to convince themselves with this excuse. We're going to change. We're going to stop.
God knows our
God knows our heart, our intention. At the end of all, we're going to get married. So it's okay the way it is, right?
Yes. And then I remember there was a situation. We did not go even one Sunday to the church.
Wow.
That was the lowest point of our relationship, if I would say that.
It was.
Yeah. And that is when I stopped and said, wait, what am I doing? What am I doing different than when I was out there?
Mm-hmm.
And that is when I thought and said, no, I have to stop it. And I spoke to her, I said, look, from now on, I'm not going to do it anymore. Because
so you've realized that you are living the same world you are living outside.
But now, less.
Church. Yes.
Let's say, era less promiscuous,
yes.
but still having
yes.
promiscuity.
You just decrease the intensity of the promiscuity, but it was the same.
I was already applying that idea of now I found someone, because now I was in the church, a person of the church,
so
both of us like God.
Okay.
Now to the point that when I end up this relationship, I went to her house. When we start the relationship, I went to be the gentleman, to spoke to her mother.
Thinking that you were doing the right thing.
I would like to start. And then when I went to finish this relationship, it was the same.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't like, she cried, no, please, don't do
why
that.
did you break up, Pastor Joshua, at that time?
Because I realized my condition.
Mm-hmm.
I was not going anywhere with my spiritual life. It is like, since I started that relationship, my spiritual development or growth stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Stopped. It is like, it was a blockage right there.
And tell me, please, I know that is not easy, but there are people that are watching us now that perhaps they're in a very similar situation. How hard was for you to make this decision? Because back then you didn't have yet the Holy Spirit. There are people who think, oh, I cannot do it because I cannot overcome this sin, this behavior, because I don't have the Holy Spirit. Okay, but if you don't stop, you never receive the Spirit of love. So how was that for you?
It was a decision, Pastor. I ignored what I felt or what I was feeling.
Because you liked her.
I really started to like, because before was just for fun. For fun. When I came to the church and then I said, okay, then I started to open my heart to her, to start to attach myself to her. Because I projected on her the person that I would live. Finally, I found someone, and now I found in the church. We had this plus. But then I was getting lost in the church.
Wow.
I was getting lost. And then I made a decision. It was not out. If I would listen to my feelings, I would not do. Because even though I went there, I spoke to her mother and all that sin, she cried, no, please, we'll do the work of God together. Because we had a true intention, a true desire, but we did not have the right actions.
Yes.
And then I said, no, if God wants us together, then He will make a way. And then I left. But I still loving her.
Yes.
But then I ignored that.
Was that easy for you to put aside that feeling?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't, because I was there in the same church.
Yeah.
And sometimes I used to
every
see
Sunday. Imagine you in the same branch.
The same branch.
Wow.
The same branch. The same branch.
What happened to your spiritual life after that, Pastor Joshua?
There was a change. After that, I passed through the water. It was the third time, but it was the last.
The last one.
Because I was not going there to pass through the waters. I was going there to start a new life.
To bear the old creature.
The decision was made before I went through the waters. And that is when everything happened. It's like 3 months. I was already some years, 1 year and a half in the church, I would say. But I passed through the waters, then I born from God, and I received the Holy Spirit.
Do you think that this decision you made before, start dating, even was not yet prepared or ready for that. Do you believe that this decision you made caused a delay in your life?
Of course, Pastor. It would cost my soul. I would not be here.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I would not be here because then I went to, for you to see, Pastor, I was called to be like a UBI, if I would say that. Who wanna do the work of God? Then I step up. Okay, do you have faith? Okay, go there, tell your mom, get your bags and come.
Wow.
And then I did it. And I moved from that place to another branch, to another city, actually, 3 hours off, away from the church. But then, deep inside, it was not my priority to her anymore, but who knows?
Yes.
Because she's still in the church. Then later on, she became assistant. And in this gap of time, I was already there. Then who knows?
So you're still feeding that idea,
then,
that possibility.
Then is what we see happening the most. As we, in the work of God, now we see sometimes the person imitates, copy, the person replicate behavior. Now I understand that. She tried to do that to prove for me that I was wrong on leaving her.
Okay.
And then she was even raised an assistant. And then when she was raised an assistant, we had a common friend. That's what we say, like a common friend.
Yeah.
And then I called this common friend, oh, how are you? How is she?
Wow.
And then I saw that common friend going
Trying
around, beating around the bush, and so on. Then I insisted, and then I went straight, tell me about her. Then this friend of ours said, look, I don't want to trouble you. I don't want to let you down because you are doing the work of God there. And then look, she's already dating someone else. When I heard that, it was a mixing of feeling. But at the same time, I said, amen.
That was your
Finish it.
your freedom.
That was my
from
freedom.
the feeling. Yeah.
And unfortunately, later on, I heard that she fall into sin with the same situation.
Look at that.
And unfortunately, she stopped taking care of her soul.
Yeah. Did you have the same problem that he had also with dating someone wrongly in church? How was your experience?
It's very interesting because we have similar situations.
Really?
Similar sufferings before we come to God.
Wow.
Because I was dating a boy. I was 16 years old when I came to church. And first, I broke up with him because I was decided I want God, and I broke up. But I didn't watch. And then the feelings started to come back. Then I was missing him. And then we came back. And then he broke up, thank God, because it was a decision, as my husband was saying. And that moment, in that night, I was born from God.
Look at that.
I was crying. I was like, my God, I don't know what to do. And I remember until today, like when I opened the Bible, and I was reading about Jeremiah, and God was separating the good figs from the bad ones. And was exactly what I wanted, because that separation was essential for my new birth, for my life start to change completely. Because I was already in the church, I think was more than a year, 1 year and a half, but I was not decided in my faith, decided in what I want. So I was, like, as my husband said, like coming to church, but not decided. And when this boy broke up, was enough for me. So that's what I want. And there even was written, this is for your good. This is for your own good, twice. And wow, that's what I need. And I decided, okay, even those times there was CD. And I took all the CDs, I burned it. I burned the CDs. I didn't want anymore. Then my life started changing. It was so quick.
So you were saying that you were moved, you were already doing the work of God, and you were moved to the branch that she was there.
Yes.
And how started everything? You fell in love first.
Yes. As I said, after that calling,
Yeah.
I closed my heart. I went to the
Okay.
altar.
Okay.
I went to the altar and I made a vow.
Mm-hmm.
I said to God, God, I will not like anyone until you give me the person. I gave my life to you, then you will give someone to me.
So in that moment, you're saying, God, your choice will be my choice.
That's it. And then, even though I did that by faith, we are human beings. We have feelings and emotions. But I remember that when I was in a brunch and then I saw the spirit of one assistant, the faith of the assistant, and then I liked her before I put myself on pet mode. Then I kept my composure, né? And I went to the altar. And I did the prayer. I remember how many times I did this prayer. Not much, but at least 5 times I did it before I received her. Then, my God, I liked her. I liked this person. But if it is not yours, please take it away. But I insisted in that prayer. Based on the same attitude. I am not afraid of not having her. And sometimes the prayer took long because I'm still liking that feeling of thinking of her.
Yeah.
You know.
I know how is it.
After the prayer passed, that was my faith that happened to me as a testimony for myself. The other day, the assistant was there and looking to the same assistant, it was nothing. It was like looking to the door. That feeling, that thing that has caught my attention 2 days ago, 1 day ago when I saw her, was not there anymore. And it happened until
You found her.
God gave me her. With her was the opposite. I was there in the brunch, and now answering your question, 1 year already. And
during this 1 year,
I was...
she was just a regular assistant for you.
I was... How could I say? A longer face, as we say in Caribbean.
Yeah.
In Caribbean. Well, a longer face. Go there. Assist. Be na paz.
Yeah.
not being rude, but not giving too much openings.
Yes.
And then I remember one day, I remember this as my encounter with God. One Sunday evening, at night, everything was closed down. I was organizing the assistant files. And then I was reading the assistant testimonies, the assistant files. Then I read hers. And then
Let me read again.
Yes. I had this.
How pure a taste.
Let me see her picture. Let me get close.
I remember even the picture she was wearing on the picture. The
really?
Clothes. Yes, the color too. I remember everything. And then I went to I finished to organize, but that funny feeling.
Yeah.
Because it was like I was Shrek style, eh?
Today won't work because of the data protection, but back in time we had no problem with data protection.
Then yes, there is no data protection that GDPR. Yes. And then I said, why am I feeling this? Because I was not used to feel that anymore.
Okay.
I shut the doors. And then I went to the altar. It was one Monday. I made this prayer the same way. On the next day when I woke up, the first thought was her. And it was not like the others.
It was not a passion.
No.
That,
It was something peaceful. It was certain. But then, I was the one to thank God. Because for me at that moment was, wow, it happened to me.
Yeah.
And then I put myself on the exciting mode. I want to talk to her. I want to see her at any cost. Then I call. Do you know if she will be coming to the church tonight? Because I want to talk to her. Then This Monday, it's Sunday, from Sunday to Monday, I remember the move in Brazil, the Brazilians. So, I don't know if you remember Tela Quente.
Yes. Every afternoon.
Evening. Monday evening.
It's true. Yeah,
Monday evening. Monday evening. I remember the move.
You were watching the movie there.
No, Boss, I remember everything because I got a slap on my face, not from her.
Okay.
And that day, everything went wrong. I was anxious to talk to her. And really anxious because I found, wow. Then she went to the church. I could not see her. I was busy in the church. Then she left the church earlier.
Because I was fleeing from them.
Yes, I didn't.
You didn't want to talk to him?
No.
Wow.
Because we were not friendly in the church at all.
Okay.
I like her spirit, her faith. I admire that. But we were not, she knows, she can talk about it. But then, I remember that day I went to close the church. So revolted at that rolling doors. I pulled the door, tied up. So revolted, Pastor. But then, I remember, it was a calm voice, né? It was, why are you this way? Like this, Pastor.
So that night...
That was that.
Yeah.
Why are you this way? That made me to stop. I went to the altar again. Said, God, if it is her, you will bring her to talk to me. I'm not going to do nothing to go after her anymore. And then I left that anxiety there. And then she can continue the story. Because
please, she needs to talk a little bit here.
Please.
You trust in God.
It was a Monday.
Yeah.
Monday night.
What happened from this Monday, Mrs.
Tuesday,
Ligia?
Wednesday.
Tell us.
Wednesday was the day that you spoke to me, right?
Yes, Wednesday night, when I spoke to her, then I said, like a policeman.
Like the
Sister,
chief.
come here. Oh, you want to do the work of God, right?
Now, do you have faith to do the work of God?
Do you have faith, right? And I was even scared. Yes, Pastor, yes, I do. But I wasn't anxious, Pastor. That was the nice part because as you mentioned, the importance of the new birth.
Yeah.
I was at peace because my desire first was to serve God, was not to marry someone with the same goals. No. My God, I want to serve you.
Yeah.
My life is in your hands. So I trusted that. I was never worried when it's going to happen or who is going to be the person. And he was there right by my side. And I didn't like him, but...
No, we didn't know that we started to like
same...
each other because making the timeline after getting to know each other, it was as she said, it was a few weeks ago, I don't know how many weeks, that she started to like me. And she was praying that she didn't want to like me because she didn't like...
Let you speak, let you speak.
Please, tell me.
It was funny, Pastor, because if he was in the church, for example, in the auditorium, I would go somewhere else.
Okay. Wherever
he was, I was free from him. I didn't want to be deceived. I thought that maybe it's a feeling, maybe... I didn't want that. I just want like, my God, it's in your hands. So when you give me this confirmation, so amen. And then the pastor wife came to talk to me. And then she asked, Ligia, are you liking someone? And then I was embarrassed to say, and then, Miss, I'm observing the past, and I start liking him, but I don't want, I'm praying, I don't want him. I don't want this feeling. And she said, no, thank God. He spoke to my husband, and then was like, asking for counseling. It was very nice because it was the same time.
Wow.
It was a match, Pastor, because out of the blue, the senior pastor was auxiliary in that time. That week, he called me.
To speak about it.
It was Wednesday because there was assistant meeting. She went because it was her birthday this Wednesday. Remember that you baked the cake for her own birthday. And then she went there. And he came to me and said, hey, you boy, you don't have any, and you don't like anyone? I said, Pastor, I don't know. I think I like Ligia. I said, oh yeah, okay. And that what was his answer. And that is when his wife, it was one Wednesday, on Friday, she went to talk to her. And then, as you mentioned to me once, the wife said, let me see if it is God who will be the one.
Oh, yeah.
What did she say?
She said, tell me who is the person. If it's of God, it's like God will reveal now. And those
It's confirming now, right now. That will be a confirmation.
That's our way of speaking that time.
And it was funny, Pastor, but it was a blessing. We were not anxious. Everything happened
And then it
at the same time.
Sunday night, after 6 p.m. was the day that Pastor told us to talk.
Okay.
Wow.
And
Then
then
you start talking.
yes. Then what was my talking? I was thick as a brick.
Wow.
I called her the back of the church. Then I took out my tie. I folded it. And I said, oh, you said that you have faith to do the work of God. So my ministry is in your hand from now on. And I left. That was my talk.
I grabbed that
Wow.
time.
Wow.
That was
He
my
gave
talk.
us a big responsibility.
Wow.
That was until we officialized everything. I didn't go after her. I didn't call her, even though we were in the same church.
So you didn't talk?
No, we talk, but our talk is still like pastors
And
our
assistant. Okay.
until everything be settled down and when we really start.
And when you
our
did start dating?
it was October 24.
And okay, but Miss Ligia, tell me please, how is that for you? Because imagine someone come and look, that's my tie, my ministry is in your hands.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I like you. You better like me, okay?
In the beginning, I was scared first.
How is that for you?
Responsibility.
It was strange in the beginning, but I was like,
Please.
okay.
I obey.
But when you start dating, he's still acting like that?
Yes, Pastor.
Like
In the beginning,
general.
The first, I would please tell me the bus situation.
the first time that we went out,
Yes.
he put me in the bus. Oh, your bus. And he didn't even say bye. He just, your bus.
If you go, I have
And
to go
put me
back to
inside.
do the radio program. All your bus come, you're gonna lose. Bye.
And I was like, even
It
better
was our
if the
first-
people was inside
So
the
you-
bus.
The first.
You pull her inside of them, but go.
Because I had to go back to do the radio program. Don't even a kiss, don't even
And Ligia, how was your impression about this?
I was like,
horse. Oh my gosh.
Really? Oh my gosh. The way it is going, you have to have your own.
No,
Part 2.
No, serious.
yes, but because sometimes
Tell us.
when we go through this, people they afraid to trust. And we trust. In 6 months, I was already engaged. Allow it. Not to get married. To fiancé. I forgot the expression.
to be engaged.
To be engaged. 6 months. And then everything was red. The person who said, no, you go there, fine, and so on.
So in 6 months, you decide, okay, I'm going to marry her.
And then the situation, when we went there to talk about it, everything changed.
Wow.
Everything changed. And even though we remained together, it was not sinful, nothing. It was just a changing of perception. So no, it's better you do not get married now. Let's see how it will works.
Okay.
And what would be done in 6 months took 2 years and 6 months.
Wow.
The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Welcome back to the Love Talk Show. Pastor Joshua, Mrs. Ligia. Now let's go for the second part.
After we got married, then I said, now she's with me. I'm gonna do something
So
really
the first
nice.
anniversary, you set it up.
First anniversary. And then I went, I prepared everything. I bought the sunflower, this high.
Wow.
Yes, it was more than
Nice
one.
one.
Yes. And then I was there hiding behind it. I put tips in the house for her to find.
Yeah.
The one more, no, it was not only the gift, that was the main gift.
So look how amazing the author of love. The same guy that pulled her away in the bus now was
Now it was different.
Yes, Pastor, yes. Because then I was Margaret, now I could lose a little bit.
Yes.
Then I prepared I matched the time for her to find the things, and then when I was there at the door waiting for her. When she opened the door, I said, "Happy birthday to you." And then more excited than her, she said, it's for me. Remember that? I said, I don't like these flowers. Clean cut. Finishing straight forward.
Mrs. Ligia, why that? Why that? So you want him to pull you again in the bus?
No, I believe she now is my time.
Oh, it's true. The revenge time.
It's payback time.
Yeah.
It was the first lunch, my goodness. It's pure salt. Oh,
yes, that's the marathon.
The first steps. The first steps.
The marathon, Pastor. That was the marathon. And then, but everything was fine at the end of the day and so on. Then I said, okay, but I like it. And I left.
You left there.
Yes, Pastor.
So, this was the first year.
Yes.
Right. So, though you had this try to make this pleasant surprise and she didn't appreciate, but you already forgave.
Of course, Pastor.
Okay,
of
amen.
course.
Life must go on.
Oh.
So, and what can you say? Let me talk to Mrs. Ligia now. What were the struggles and the things that you believe that they were hard for you, the challenges you have to overcome in the beginning of a marriage?
Pastors, it was my feelings.
Oh, really?
Feelings. It was good because we learn with the time, like, to go to God. Whatever we need to solve, we go to God. And many times he went to me and like, go to pray. Go to pray, in other words. So with God. And then I learned from that. But until I learned that lesson but it was very good because it made us stronger, right?
Yes.
Our relationship and everything. But in the beginning, this part was really hard.
Because, sorry, Pastor.
Go ahead.
Because what happened with her was this. It was more evident after 12 years marriage. At the beginning, we were fine. We were really living that kind of, that biblical verse we even talk in the morning. We were living joyfully with the wife of my life. I forgot the full verse. But then, when she mentioned about her feelings was this. She was not emotional. She was outside. I had a strong woman. I had an assistant. I had an evangelist. I had a warrior. I had a strong personality, pressing forward, always stepping up, and so on. But when we come home, like it would be like outside she was a lioness, but inside a little kitty. That is how she was. And that kind of not insecurity on the negative side. It's like what she used to do in her mind was never good enough. Was never good enough. And then this insecurity became stronger because I did not have this reading of her feelings, because we were outside, we were in faith, the synchronism, we were always on the same page, but sometimes at home, she had these moods. And then it was hard for me to understand that, because I was used to her response of faith outside, concerning people. Even if she had to do herself, she did herself already.
But Mrs. Ligia, can you identify the reason why you were like that before?
Pastor, I don't know why I behave, because as he was saying, when we got married, I was like stronger, but I don't know if I was like depending too much on him. I start and then I start to see the situations like this with feelings and many times, but there was a point that was like a turning point in our marriage.
So it was something new for you. Something about you, but that was new.
Yes, Pastor. As he said, I just found out after years marriage.
So look at that. So can you see, Karina? This is what we always mention here in the Love Talk show. Marriage is an opportunity for you to know yourself better.
Yeah.
One of the biggest surprise we have in marriage is with ourselves.
That's true.
The reactions we have, the way that we deal with situations. We have sometimes a very inflated impression about ourselves, thinking, can you see, now I'm delivered, I have already received the Holy Spirit, I'm doing well, I'm the faith.
I'm a woman of God.
I'm of God.
Good.
Yes.
I organize everything.
Yes. So as soon as you get married, there is no way out. You will find out new things about you. They are you can be ready to find new things about, your spouse. But the greatest surprise is to know who you are.
And sometimes the challenge and sometimes painful.
Yes.
It is easy to point out the mistakes of your partner.
Yeah.
To say, you don't change on it, or you don't do this. But when you see in yourself, then you have to, how can I say, to be humble.
Yeah.
To be humble, because changing is a painful process.
So these matches, Karina, exactly to one of the things we are saying, I believe 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, that everything that we learn in the love therapy is very much useful. The learnings, the tips, the teachings, they are essential. But there is a point in life that even with all knowledge about love, you have to understand that only faith can change.
Yeah, it's true.
Only by faith. Because we are not talking about a couple that they had, major problems. But these little problems, they were already becoming something heavy in your marriage, right?
Pastor, it reached the point we look at each other and say, what is our problem?
Because there is no infidelity.
There's no we love each other, we care for each other.
Together,
Pastor,
we do everything
Pastor,
together.
our marriage is a mess. No, that's not the word. It's funny.
Yeah.
All the time I make sure
Messing
to
around.
be laughing around, to be laugh about.
It was a pleasure to be with her.
We laugh, Pastor. I'm telling you. She can talk about it, Pastor. We did not have a reason for the pain. We did not. We say, why?
Yeah, and yes, go ahead.
Yeah, have one question here,
Go ahead.
Ligia. I think is complete. Miss Ligia, at the point in your life, did you ever felt like give up?
Giving up?
Giving up? Because the situation?
Not giving up of my salvation, never, but like that I was not good enough for him. Like, how can I say? I'm not being good enough for you. I'm not
Feeling
If
I cannot
you
be
want,
able
you
to
can
help
leave
you.
me.
I don't know.
Really? You heard that?
Oh my goodness.
No way.
Look how
Revelation here today.
if you want me,
If you want, you can leave
if I'm not disturbing you, if I've been hindering you, am I being hindering you? You can leave me, go there. I say, come on. What's
Look
going
at
on?
that. Yeah. So, Pastor Joshua, before we finish here, do you want to say something for those? Actually, we have here many lessons, especially for the couples. But let us talk to the single ones, because I can see some of them, they're even crying here. Say, what about me? What about me? So let us now considering the single ones. What can you say to this young boy, this young man that was watching us now? Perhaps this man already in his 40s, 50s, watching us now. And because some men, Pastor Joshua, they think that they don't need to attend the love therapy because this is not for them. They know what to do.
Pastor.
Talk to them here, Pastor. Looking at their eyes now.
Look, the truth is that, Pastor. There is that song, and I love hurts.
Yes. Yeah.
And the truth is, they are afraid to face the pain they have within them.
Mm-hmm.
Many couple, they do not come, or sometimes, or most of the times, they listen to the radio, they listen, they pray, they read the Bible, but they don't come to the practical counseling of the love therapy because the pain they still feel.
Mm-hmm.
Because the pain they still feel. Because that pain led me not to talk about it anymore. But then I had the out. If this person does not have this understanding, they hide the pain.
Mm-hmm.
And they become stubborn. They become cold. They become short-tempered. And the love therapy helps them to expose the pain. And some of them, they don't want to. Because truth hurts sometimes.
Yes.
For me to acknowledge it and say, it's my fault.
It's hard, isn't
It's
it?
hard, Pastor. It's hard. It's not
I
easy.
know.
And then those who are watching us now as a couple, stop hide the pain. It doesn't mean that your marriage is finished. It doesn't mean that I made a wrong decision. Heal the pain. Let the altar of love heal your pain. And then you will see the result. For the single pastor, regardless which age maybe they are at, the only thing I would tell them that worked for me as a single was I started to respect my soul.
Mm-hmm.
My soul, it was my limit. If I was trying to start a relationship with someone, and that someone does not respect, I'm not saying even faith, because we see nowadays there is sometimes even it is even a challenge to have a church girl.
Yeah.
So if I am trying a relationship, whoever I know is a good character, okay. But you see signs of the person not considering your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Then if they do not consider your soul, they will not respect your soul, they will not know how to respect you.
Themselves.
Yeah.
Because there were moments in this period of pain that we had inside that the feelings flare, and some words, some attitudes that I had the right to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew if I said, it would hurt her soul.
Yeah.
And then I thought, how would she take it?
Mm-hmm.
And then I prefer not to say.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was someone who didn't care about her soul, has nothing to do with her soul, just love the body, because love is for the body.
Yes.
Then I would feel right to say that. I had the rights to say that. But then I would be hurting her
Our
soul.
soul.
Exactly.
It's true.
And the single person, the single guys, the single girls, ladies, gentlemen that are listening to us, that's the first stop. If you do not find, you can find a body. You can find a body.
Easy. Tonight, if they go out, they will find someone
Yeah.
to
They
spend
can
the night
stumble
together.
off someone.
Yeah, it's true.
But for them to find someone to take care of their soul,
Yeah,
Pastor,
the right
but
one.
it is hard. It is hard because you are searching on your own. If you trust in the altar of love,
Yeah,
He will bring to you a person with the same intention, the one that will help you to take care of your soul.
great.
Yeah.
Mrs. Ligia, what you can say for the ladies that are watching us now, especially the single ones, that they are going through anxiety, perhaps, because of their age, or they are insecure, but living a life as a single. What can you say to these ladies?
Oh, all right. So what I did is, as we mentioned before, I trusted in God, as I said, I was at peace, but I had my part of faith. So trust, believe, and sacrifice your will, sacrifice your desires, your feeling, and trust. God has the best for you. Maybe the person is right there by your side and you don't know as we met each other. But trust, believe that God will do everything for you. The author of love, he will write a great story for your life.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This is it. So, may God bless you. Have a wonderful night. Goodbye.
The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.